It's the 6th of April and we're continuing our series of interviews with famous ex-students. Today we're joined by Annie Le Fleur, who was a student here in 1986-1987 and has gone on to do some great things in basketball.
That's right.
So welcome back and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So Annie, maybe you'd like to begin by telling us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, what you were doing before you arrived at Cogra High.
Okay, I was actually born in Papua New Guinea and I moved to Australia when I was 9. Moved to Hurstville, so I've grown up in the St George area. Went to St Mary's Star of the Sea from primary school to high school, where I did year 7 to 10, and then came to Cogra because there was nowhere for us girls to go to for year 11 and 12.
So in those days, most of the girls, I guess, came to Cogra?
Yeah, it was Cogra or St Ursula's.
All right.
So, you know, I chose to come here.
And what was it like coming into Cogra in a sort of predominantly male environment?
I mean, it was going to an all-girls school from year 7 to 10 was, you know, so coming here with all, you know, boys here as well, so that was a bit of an eye-opener. But no, it was good. I had some good years here. And
your memories of the school from the time you remember?
Well, you know, of course, basketball was a big part of my life, and there wasn't a girls' basketball team here, so I played in the boys' team. So, you know, that was pretty exciting, being the only girl that played in the MCC in basketball. And my first year, I captained the team, and the second year, I vice-captained it. So, very exciting time. You know, we made it to the playoffs both years, so it was good.
And did that cause a stir at the time, having a girl being captain of a team in the MCC?
No, not really. I think the guys were pretty good about it. I do remember, it was funny though, Mark Simboli, he was one of my teammates at the time, and a very protective guy, and you know, we were good friends, and I think our coach at the time, Mr. Walker, had to tell him to back off if somebody knocked me over or, you know, something like that. So, you know, that was funny. Okay,
and your memory of sort of classes and those sorts of things, what was that like?
Classes were good. You know, it was easy. We fit in pretty well. You know, it wasn't like we really just stood out because we were girls. The boys, you know, took us in, and you know, we were just comfortable.
So there was no shock?
No, not a shock. It was
not a shock, and no showing off to impress the girls, or showing off to impress.
I mean, boys are boys, so you know, if you notice them a lot, then they'll keep doing it. But you know, no, we never really took much notice of it.
Okay, so you do the HSC in 1987.
That's right.
Where does life lead you after that point?
Basketball, all over the world. You know, represented Australia in 2 World Championships and Olympic Games in 2000. So, travelled around and played in the WNBA in the States for 4 years. So, yeah, pretty much just basketball. It was a huge part of my life, and a wonderful, wonderful experience for me.
Okay. How well do you think it prepared you for life after school?
It prepared me really well. I think having the boys and the girls together, I mean, you go out into this world and, you know, going to an all-girls school from year 7 to 10, and then, you know, having the boys around, I think really prepared you for life, because that's what life's about, you know. It's not just all girls together and all boys, you know, it's all mixed up. So, you know, that was pretty good. As far as schoolwork, I probably should have done a lot more than what I did, but, you know, obviously basketball was a huge part of my life at the time, and I chose to go that way instead of, you know, pursuing something academically. But I don't regret any of my decisions, you know. I've had a pretty good run and a good life.
Okay, yeah. So if you had to sum up the place in a few words, how would you sum up Cogra?
A wonderful, diverse experience, you know. I mean, a lot of different nationalities. I made some really wonderful, you know, friends that I still have to this day. So, I mean, it was a positive experience for me.
Okay, thank you.